Tesla is in trouble for lying to their customers. And apparently the orders to do so came directly from the top, from the CEO Elon Musk himself, which resulted in Tesla getting swamped with customer complaints last year, making them react by creating a diversion team that would work to get rid of customer complaints as soon as possible. Because every cancelled complaint would make it so they didn't need to check out your vehicle, saving them about $1,000. The reason behind all of this is that Tesla apparently rigged the range estimating software about a decade ago to display more favorable results in order to increase sales. And this is also not the first time that Tesla has been called out for over-exaggerating their estimated range. Welcome back to the channel. So while I think that at this point pretty much everyone is aware that Tesla is to some extent over-promising the range of their vehicles, which is a common point that pretty much any Tesla reviewer, any car reviewer complains about, they usually say, oh yes, the car is very great, it's so fast, but the one problem is the inaccurate range estimation. I find that is constantly over-promising me the range, and I don't like that. And to be fair, that is also the case with a lot of other EV manufacturers, but Tesla seems to be over-promising just a little bit even more than them. Because the numbers that you most often see promising you the estimated range of the vehicle are pretty much always based on the very ideal conditions, with the ideal temperature, with the ideal speed, with the ideal wind resistance. All of these factors, along with something like the AC, for example, greatly contribute to how much electricity, how much energy your electric vehicle actually uses while you're driving. Even just a factor like wind resistance is a huge deal, which you'll know if you've ever opened the window while driving on the highway and just sort of waved your hand out there and you actually felt how much force is being pushed against you. Another major factor that can reduce the Tesla estimated battery by about 50% even are cold conditions, which you've probably experienced if you live in somewhat of a cold climate. For instance, me, right now in the summer, my phone generally lasts me an entire day, but in the winter, if I go on like a 1-hour walk, my phone generally just dies because it's just so cold, and batteries really do not like that. At least the batteries that we have in our phones and that are in electric vehicles. And this whole story about Tesla over-promising their range just goes way deeper, so I will be linking this gigantic Reuters article down below if you want to check it out for yourself. The first crazy revelation is the fact that Tesla created a diversion team. So basically, about a decade ago, Tesla began equipping cars with range estimating algorithms that showed rosy projections of driving range. And then this, over the years, led to many customers complaining about range, because a lot of the customers were then concerned because they would be charging their vehicle at home, see a available range of like 200 miles, and then they would actually start driving, and very quickly they would just see, oh, only 120 miles left and I've only driven like 5 miles, like what's going on? So they would contact Tesla to set up an appointment like, hey, my car is not functioning as it should. So Tesla's solution, according to the report, was to create a special team to cancel customer appointments at service centers if they were related to range complaints, so that they could just sort you out without yourself having to show up at their service center. They could just run a remote diagnostic and then just be like, oh yeah, no, everything's fine. You don't need to show up and basically waste our time, because apparently if they turned away a customer from showing up, they would save about $1,000, so this was greatly encouraged. And then the really scummy thing actually happened. So in late 2022, managers allegedly told employees not to run remote diagnostics on vehicles of owners reporting range issues, speeding up the process of canceling appointments. Because apparently at this point, they just had so many complaints that they needed to speed up the process of just basically getting people to just like go away. And this is not the first time that Tesla has been called out for providing essentially non-realistic range numbers to their customers. The EPA actually required Tesla to adjust their numbers, and earlier this year, South Korea actually fined Tesla for minimizing the impact of cold weather on range. And again, while all EV makers to some extent sort of inflate their numbers, Mercedes has come out and said that they actually use the EPA's formula, which is a bit more accurate. So Mercedes basically rather gives you a more accurate number than a number that would seem more favorable to their vehicles. And well, unfortunately, this is the sort of stuff that you have to expect from Tesla. For instance, Tesla maintains more control over the hardware and software aspects of any repair or diagnosis than any other automaker. Which of course sucks, because it means that if you actually have an issue with your Tesla, a lot of the time you can't get a private mechanic to take care of that yourself, because Tesla just doesn't provide plans on how to fix various issues. And if you have ever gotten an estimate on repairing your vehicle from like an unofficial dealership versus a private mechanic, I'm sure that you know the dealerships will mark up these prices a lot. Not to mention, when you have these systems so far logged down, it's harder to know what exactly is happening with your vehicle. For instance, this video that I made not too long ago was talking about how Tesla was basically secretly recording the inside and the outside of the vehicle all the time, which was not only supposed to not be happening, but then employees within Tesla would actually just watch these videos. They would actually see what people are doing in their garages, in their cars, and they would then even share around these videos. And these are exactly some of the reasons why I would personally never want to buy a Tesla. If I'd get it for free, sure, I'd drive it. But if I'd actually really want privacy, then I would go back into my dumb diesel car that doesn't have all of this junk. So let me know if you would ever consider buying a Tesla, or if perhaps you even own one. Thanks for watching, and hopefully you have a nice day.